Toby the Tram Engine was amazed. There, standing before him, was the legendary old warrior. Thomas had scared Toby by telling him it was a ghost, but in reality, it was a little engine called Bertram, who turned out to be very friendly. "Just wait until I tell the others about this," laughed Toby. Later the next morning, he met Thomas at the station. "So, the old warrior didn't hunt you down last night then?" Thomas teased. "Quite the opposite," replied Toby excitedly. "I actually found him. He's a little old engine called Bertram, not a ghost." Thomas just laughed. "Really, Toby? Trying to use my own tale against me? You might fool Percy, but you have to wake up earlier to trick me." Thomas had heard the legend of the old warrior from his driver, and thought it nothing more than silly make-believe. Nothing Toby could say managed to convince Thomas about Bertram's authenticity. It didn't help that Bertram had been sent to the works, leaving Thomas unable to see him for himself. It was a few weeks later when Toby's driver woke him excitedly. "Wake up, Toby! We've had a special delivery to take to the mines." Toby was excited, especially when he finally saw what it was. "Bertram! How nice it is to see you again," he beamed. "You look very smart now." "I feel like a young engine again," Bertram croaked. "It's a shame I don't sound it." He still sounded rather hoarse from his years in isolation. As they made their way to the mines, Toby explained all that had happened in Bertram's absence, including Thomas's lack of belief. When he finished, Bertram laughed. "Thinks I'm still a legend, does he? What fun! He'll certainly have a shock when he does sees me. Just think of the look on his face." It was then Toby had an idea. That evening, Thomas arrived at the mines with the last supply train. "We're here on guard tonight, lad. Vat controller's orders," called the driver. Thomas was cross. He wanted to be back in his warm shed, but he knew there was nothing he could do. Night quickly fell, and Thomas was still grumpy, but he couldn't help but feel slightly uneasy. "It's that Toby filling my smokebox with that silly legend," he muttered to himself. He was just starting to relax when suddenly, "Thomas! Thomas!" Thomas froze. A chill ran through his boiler as a ghostly cackle echoed around him. Who's there?" he stammered, trying to sound as brave as he could. "I've come to get you, Thomas," wailed the voice. "You should have believed." Suddenly, a shrill whistle cried out. Poor Thomas was so frightened, he shot back right into the buffers. Oh, goodness me," chuckled Bertram in his poor old voice. "You look as if you've seen a ghost." Thomas' eyes shot open. There, beside him, were Toby and Bertram, with innocent grins on their faces. Thomas then burst out laughing. "Oh, you win, Toby. I was a silly engine to not believe you. It's very nice to meet you, old warrior," he added happily. "As it is to meet you," Bertram smiled. "I hope I didn't scare you too much." Everyone laughed before the three engines began to chat happily away like old friends.